Hello, dear students. Let us continue with the topic units and measurements. So, let us discuss what we discussed in the last class. So, last classes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 7 ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 2 supplementary physical quantities are there. So, total there are 9 fundamental physical quantities are there. And also we have discussed their units. After that, we have discussed about derived physical quantities like volume, area, pressure, force. So all these are derived physical quantities. And also we have discussed about units of derived physical quantities. Then we have discussed about SI prefixes. So if I write 10 raised to 8, first I will take 10 raised to 3. If I write 10 raised to 3, that means we have to multiply 10 3 times. Okay, so that is what 10 raised to 3. So its prefix is kilo. So in the same way, if I write 10 raised to 6, its prefix is mega. In the same way, if I write 10 raised to 9, its prefix is giga. So in the same way, we have discussed several powers of 10 and also we have discussed their prefixes. After that, we have discussed about measurement of length. So length can be measured by two important methods. First one is direct method. In this method, we can measure the length of any object or distance between any 2 points by the instruments, by some devices. That is what direct method. That means length can be measured directly with the help of the instruments. That is what direct method. So as I said, with the help of the meter scale, vernier calipers and screw gauge, we can measure the length or distance of the object. Okay, and one more method, that is indirect method. We also discussed about indirect method. That means to measure the larger distances, we should not use meter scale or vernier calipers or screw gauge. We have to go for some scientific methods. So in indirect method, we are following the scientific method. So in the last class, we have discussed about measurement of distance of nearby star from the earth surface by parallax method. So last classes alli already ನಾವು parallax method ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ parallax method ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, parallax angle ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಸೊ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ parallax angle is given by parallax angle. Parallax angle means the angle subtended by the basis at the point at the object. That is what parallax angle anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and that is denoted by theta, and that is given by theta equals b by s. So here b is called, this is what basis. Basis means that is the distance between two observation points, and s is what, that is the distance between the object and the observer. So to find the distance, s equals, we can write b by theta. So with the help of this formula, we can find the larger distances, such as distance between nearby star from the earth surface. So already ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Now in this class, we'll discuss about measurement of diameter of the moon. So we are going to discuss about measurement of diameter of moon. So exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, how can you measure the diameter of a moon with the help of the indirect method ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ ಇವಾಗ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ this is the moon. let us imagine this is the moon, and let us imagine this is the earth surface. This is earth. Okay, so this is what? This is earth and this is moon. Okay, and let me say this is the diameter of the moon. Yes or no? A line that touches 2 points on the circumference of the circle and that has to pass through the center of the circle. That is what? Diameter. So this is the diameter of the moon. So this is moon. Okay, and let me name D is the diameter of the moon. Okay, and now what I will do, ನಾನು ಈಗೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಮೂನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮೂನ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ದು 2 ಎಡ್ಜಸ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೇಕ್ A is the one edge of the moon and B is the another extreme edge of the moon. Okay, and let us imagine there is an observer here. He is on the earth's surface, he is observing the moon. Okay, and now we will take a telescope and we'll place at this point and we will observe one edge of the moon. Okay, with the help of the telescope. ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಈ ಎಡ್ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಸೊ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪ್ಸ್ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಎಡ್ಜನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಸೇ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ಇ ಎ the observer is observing one edge of the moon. In the same way, let us focus the telescope on this side. Okay, then along EB, the observer, okay, the observer is observing another side of the moon. Okay, and here theta is the angle between the two lines of sight. That is what? This is a parallax angle. This theta is what? Parallax angle. Okay, parallax angle means what? The angle subtended by the two lines or two directions where we are observing the moon. Okay, so or we can say that the angle subtended at the object. Okay, so here this is the parallax angle, and let me say here distance between moon and earth is r. R is the distance between moon and earth. Now you already know parallax angle is given by theta equals basis divided by distance. Yes or no? So here parallax angle theta can be written as theta equals, here basis means that is the distance between the two observation points. Okay, that is what? D, small d, that is the diameter of the moon, divided by what is the distance between moon and earth, that is r. Now in the question what they have asked, they asked to find the diameter of the moon. So ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ನ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? D equals, ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಆರನ್ನು ಈ ಸೈಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಥೀಟಾ ಇಂಟು ಆರ್. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮೂನ್. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ದ ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಮೂನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅರ್ತ್. ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ. ಥೀಟಾನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಥೀಟಾನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೋಕಸ್ ದ ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪ್, ಓಕೆ, ಆನ್ ದ ಟೂ ಎಡ್ಜಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೂನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವೆರಡರ ನಡುವಿನ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಪ್ಯಾರಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದರೆ ನಮಗೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಮೂನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದರೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮೂನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮೂನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವೀಗ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ with the help of the parallax method. In the same way, measurement of diameter of the moon also we have studied. Now with the help of indirect method, let us study some more concepts. So let us continue with that one. So indirect method to measure very small distances. So we'll study indirect method to measure small distances. ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ ಇವಾಗ. Okay, so we already know that the length or distance, if that is up to 1 millimeter, or we can say up to 0.1 centimeter, we can use a device like meter scale. That means with the help of the meter scale we can measure the length up to 1 millimeter or up to 0.1 centimeter. Okay, ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ 1 ಮಿಲಿಮೀಟರ್ವರೆಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲಿಂದ ಲೆಂತ್ನ ಮೇಜರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದೇ ಥರ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 0.01 centimeter that can be measured with the help of the vernier calipers. With the help of the vernier calipers. So this is the least count of the vernier calipers. So ವರ್ನಿಯರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಪರ್ಸಿಂದ ನಾವು 0.01 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಲೆಂತ್ವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಮೇಜರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 0.001 centimeter that can be measured with the help of the screw gauge. Screw gauge help in the 0.001 centimeter ಲೆಂತ್ವರೆಗೂ ನಾವು ಮೇಜರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. And if the length or distance, if the distance is of the order of 10 raised to minus 7 meter, 10 raised to minus 7 meter ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು some kind of sensitive optical microscope, with the help of optical microscopes we can measure the distance of the order of 10 raised to minus 7 meter. 10 raised to minus 7 meter ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲೆಂತ್ ಈ ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮೇಜರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಇಫ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ of the order of 10 raised to minus 9 meter, in such cases we can use electron or tunneling microscopes. So 10 raised to minus 9 meter ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮೇಜರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆರ್ ಟನಲಿಂಗ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ಸನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, and if the distance is even smaller, if it is too small, like size of the atom ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ that is very very small in size, okay, so ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So that means we have to follow some indirect techniques. So in this class we'll study those two techniques. So examನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ. So let us study those indirect techniques one by one. Now let us study first indirect technique to study smaller size. Okay, so first we'll study to measure size of atom. So how to measure the size of an atom? So the size of an atom, so it is very very smaller in size, and that method and the size of the atom can be measured with the help of a method, scientific method called Avogadro number. So ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅವಗ್ಯಾಡ್ರೋಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಸಾರಿ ಅವಗ್ಯಾಡ್ರೋಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So with the help of the Avogadro's method we can measure the size of the atom. So before going to start this one, let me give a statement, that is what Avogadro's hypothesis. So Avogadro's hypothesis, it states that the actual volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance, in 1 gram of substance is equal to the 2/3 of volume of 1 gram of substance. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 2/3 ಆಫ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಅವರು 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ n ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ n ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೌಂಟ್ಲೆಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. So how much volume it has occupied, the volume, the actual volume occupied by the atoms present in that 1 gram of substance, that is always equal to 2/3 of the volume of the 1 gram of the substance. So this is what? This is Avogadro hypothesis. This is Avogadro's hypothesis. Okay. So Avogadro's hypothesis idu. So now let me write this Avogadro's hypothesis in mathematical form. Mathematical form ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇದನ್ನ. ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ atoms in 1 gram of substance, that is always equal to 2/3 of volume of 1 gram of substance. 1 gram of substance. So let me name this one as equation number 1. ಇದು ನಾನು equation 1 ಅಂತ ನೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Now in this equation, first we have to find the volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance. Before finding the volume, first we have to find how many number of atoms are there in 1 gram of substance. That is very very important. So first ಗೆ ನಾವು how many number of atoms are there in 1 gram ಅದನ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಆಮೇಲೆ we'll find volume of 1 gram of the substance. Then we'll substitute those values in the equation 1 so that we can find the size of the atom. So first ಗೆ ನಾವು volume of the atoms in 1 gram of the substance ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾನು let me consider, let us imagine, let n first let me take m is the molecular weight of the substance, and n is the number of atoms. N is what? I don't know how many number of atoms are there. I don't know. In general, what I will take n is the number of atoms present in that 1 gram of substance, and capital M is the molecular weight of that 1 gram of substance. Okay. Then we can write number of atoms in 1 gram of substance, 1 gram of substance, that can be taken as, that equals n divided by m, where n is called number of atoms. Okay, and that is also called as Avogadro number. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ? Avogadro number ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. So where n is what? That is Avogadro's number ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and its value is 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. Okay, so now let me name this one as equation number 2. Equation 2 ಅಂತ ನೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇದನ್ನ. Now I have to find the volume of the one atom. So usually atom is considered to be spherical in size. If the object is spherical in size, then its volume can be calculated using the formula 4/3 pi r cube. So that, let me write volume of one atom of that 1 gram of substance, that equals 4/3 pi r cube. this is what, this is the volume of one atom. Okay, in the same way I can write volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance. That can be taken as, how many number of atoms are there? N by m, into what is the volume of one atom? That is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So total, this is what? This is the volume of atoms present in 1 gram of substance. So let me name this one as equation number 3. So I have got the volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance, that is n by m into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now I have to find the volume of 1 gram of the substance. So for that, let me consider, let rho is the density. Rho is the density of the substance, and small m is the mass of the substance, and that equals 1 gram, and V is the volume of the substance. So density can be written as, it is the ratio of mass per volume anta bariತೀವಿ ನಾವು. So now with the help of this equation, let me write volume. Volume equals, so rearrange the terms so that you will get m by rho. Here what is the value of m? That is 1 gram. So that volume of 1 gram of substance is equal to 1 divided by rho. This is equation number 4. So I have got volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance, and also I have got volume of 1 gram of substance. So put the values of equation 3 and equation 4 in equation number 1. So equation 1 alli substitute ಮಾಡೋಣ. So volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance ಏನಿದೆ from equation 3, that is, so that equation 1 becomes, so equation 1 alli volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance ಏನಿದೆ, so that is n by m. So let me write that one, n by m sorry, here you have to take capital M. Capital M andre that is the molecular weight of the substance, and small m is the mass of the substance. So n by m. So equation 1 becomes volume of atoms in 1 gram of substance, that is n by m into 4 by 3 pi r cube, that equals 2 by 3 into, so here equation 1 alli volume of the 1 gram of substance, that is 1 by rho. So here simplify this one, 3 3 cancels, 2 ones are here, 2 2s are. So what remains here, n by m 2 pi r cube, that equals 1 by rho. So now rearrange the terms. So I will keep r cube on LHS side only, and I will transfer other terms, so that m and transfer madri m divided by n into rho into 2 pi. Okay, now transfer this cube on the RHS side, so that we'll write r equals m divided by 2 pi into n into rho raised to 1 by 3. Okay, so this is what, this is the radius of the atom. So with the, if you find the radius of the atom, then easily we can find the size of the atom. So in this way, with the help of the Avogadro method, we can find the size of the atom. Now we will find the size of a molecule of a liquid. So to measure size of a molecule of a liquid. So in examination they may ask for 3 marks. How can you measure the size of a molecule of a liquid ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ materials we need to explain this concept. So we need water. So water is required and oleic acid is required. So actually oleic acid is a kind of fatty acid and that is usually occurred in animal and vegetable fats, and also this oleic acid it occurs in some of the oils also. And after that we need alcohol, and also we need lycopodium powder. So these are the things we need to explain this concept. ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ವೆಸಲ್ನ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ this is the glass vessel, okay, and I have taken some quantity of water. Into this large glass vessel, okay. So this is what? This is water. Then what I will do, I will sprinkle the lycopodium powder. I have to sprinkle the lycopodium powder on this water. ಸೊ ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಲೈಕೋಪೋಡಿಯಂ ಪೌಡರ್ನ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ sprinkled lycopodium powder, okay. So why I have to sprinkle the lycopodium powder, later I will tell that one, okay. Now what I will do, now we have to prepare 1/500 concentration solution of oleic acid. We have to prepare 1/500 concentration solution of oleic acid. How to prepare 1/500 concentration solution of oleic acid? That can be prepared by taking, we have to take 1 cc of oleic acid, that should be mixed with 500 cc of alcohol. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ನ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? 1 cc ಆಫ್ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 500 cc ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ, ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ 1/500 concentration solution of the ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ 1/500 concentration solution of ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು, now I have to, okay, put that one into this solution, into this beaker, into this glass vessel, okay. So ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, we have to put n drops, okay. I have to put certain drops of this 1/500 concentration solution of ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ into this glass vessel. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ಶೋ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಿತ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಿಂಕ್ ಇಂಕ್, ಓಕೆನಾ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಲೈಕೋಪೋಡಿಯಂ ಪೌಡರ್ನ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಲೈಕೋಪೋಡಿಯಂ ಪೌಡರ್ನ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ವಾಟರ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸಪ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಕಲ್ ದ lycopodium powder. Okay, so that means lycopodium powder, it will forms a layer on the water surface so that it will avoids the mixture of the oleic acid with the water. Okay, for that purpose we have sprinkled the lycopodium powder. And this oleic acid solution, it contains alcohol. Okay, so as the time passes, what happens, alcohol slowly it will gets evaporates. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಇವ್ಯಾಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅ ಥಿನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈಕೋಪೋಡಿಯಂ ಪೌಡರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡಲ್ಲಿ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲು ಇದೆ. ಟೈಮ್ ಹೋದಾಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಇವ್ಯಾಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ it will forms a thin film on this lycopodium powder, and a thin film is formed in such a way that its thickness is, so let me write that one, thickness of oleic acid film, or we can say layer. Thickness of the oleic acid film or layer that equals to molecular size of the oleic acid. Okay, this is a standard statement. So whatever the thickness of that oleic acid film is there na, that will be always equal to the molecular size. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೈಜ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಹಾಗೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಥಿನ್ ಲೇಯರಿಂದ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದರದ್ದು ಏರಿಯಾನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅದರ ಏರಿಯಾನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಶೀಟ್. ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಶೀಟ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಲೇಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ. ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನು ಆ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೂಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಏನು ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಮೂಡಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಏರಿಯಾನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೌದಾ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ graph sheet, we can find area of film or that layer. So once if you find the area, now let me write volume of n drops of solution. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಓಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡು ಮತ್ತು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅದನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಲೇಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ n drops of the solution, let me take that one as n into v. Why I have taken n into v? V is the volume. Okay, n means I don't know how many drops I am adding, I don't know. So that's why in general I have taken that one as n into v. N drops I am adding. Okay, so volume of n drops of solution is how much? That is n into v. Now let me write volume of oleic acid in n drops of solution, that can be written as, so this is what, this is the volume of the n drops of the solution. Here I am writing volume of oleic acid in that n drops of solution, that is what, n into v. So oleic acid is the concentration ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ reduce ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು, 1/500 cc. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 1/500 cc ಬಂದಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ. ನಾವು so to find the thickness, let me write volume can be written as, so length into breadth into height ಅಂತ ಬರಿತೀರಾ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ನ ಬರಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು v equals, let me write L into B into H ಅಂತ ಬರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಬಿನ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದಾ, b can be written as v divided by L into H ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದಾ. ಟರ್ಮ್ಸನ್ನು ರೀಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. b equals v divided by L into H ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈ b ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಿದು, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್, ಆರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಆರ್ ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟಿ ಅಂತ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಲ್ ಇಂಟು ಎಚ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ ಇಂಟು ಎಚ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಎಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಸೈಡ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದಾ? ಸೊ ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ವಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ area. So let me write that one as volume divided by area. Okay, got the reason here? L into H ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ? ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಸೈಡ್ ನಾನು ಏನು ಬರಿಬೋದು? ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ನಾವು ಥಿಕ್ನೆಸ್ that T equals volume. ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಎನ್ ಇಂಟು ವಿ ಇಂಟು 1/500 ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮು. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎನ್ ಇಂಟು ವಿ into 1/500. So that into area is, let me take that one as area as A. So this is what? This is the thickness of that oleic acid film. So if you find the thickness, that means we have determined the size of the molecule of a liquid. In this way we can measure the size of a molecule of a liquid. Now let us see practical units of length. Practical units of length. So if you observe the objects like planets, sun and stars, galaxies, so all they are very bigger in size. So sun, stars, okay, and planets, so all these are, they are bigger in size. So they are bigger in size. So to measure their distances or lengths, so we have to use some special units. So let us study those special units one by one. So first one is astronomical unit. So first one is what? That is astronomical unit. So in short form we can call that one as AU. Okay, astronomical unit. So first let me give the definition of this astronomical unit. So the definition is the average distance between the earth and sun, that is what? Astronomical unit. So average distance between the earth and sun, that is called as astronomical unit. So that is given by 1 AU, 1 astronomical unit. So the average distance between earth and sun is 1.5 into 10 raised to 11 meter. So this much of distance is there in between earth and sun. So this is 1 AU. Now let us see the second unit, that is light year. Second unit ಯಾವುದು? ಲೈಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು LY ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು ಅದನ್ನ. ಸೊ ಲೈಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂದರೆ the distance traveled, definition is the distance traveled by light in air or vacuum. In vacuum. So in 1 year, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಲೈಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಲೈಟ್ ಇನ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇನ್ 1 year, that is called as light year. So let us find the value of 1 light year. 1 light year equals, so as I said, speed of light in 1 year. So we already know the value of speed of light, that is how much? Speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That into 1 year means in 1 year there are total 365 days. In one day, 24 hours are there. In 1 hour, 60 minutes is there. In 1 minute, 60 seconds is there. Have got the point how I written 1 year? 1 year ಅಲ್ಲಿ 365 ದಿನಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. So 1 day means 24 hours. 1 hour means 60 minutes. 1 minute means 60 seconds. Okay. Now if you multiply all these values, we will get the answer as 9.46 into 10 raised to 15 meter. So this is what 1 light year. Okay na? 1 light year. So I have got the value of 1 AU and also I have got the value of 1 light year. Now let us see the relation between 1 astronomical unit and 1 light year. Okay. Now let us try to understand what is the relation between 1 AU and 1 light year. So we already know that 1 AU means what? 1 astronomical unit means 1.5 into 10 raised to 11 minute, and 1 light year means what? 1 light year means 9.46 into 10 raised to 15 meter. Now what I will do? Now dividing, let me name this one as equation number 1 and this one as equation 2. Dividing both equations. So let me write 1 light year divided by 1 astronomical unit. Okay. 1 light year value ಏನು 9.46 into 10 raised to 15 divided by 1 AU value ಏನ್ರಿ, that is 1.5 into 10 raised to 11. So if you divide them, so you will get the answer as 6.3 into 10 raised to 4. This is what? 1 light year divided by 1 astronomical unit. Now let me transfer this 1 AU on RHS side so that I will get 1 light year equals 6.3 into 10 raised to 4 AU. Okay. So this is the relation between light year and astronomical unit. That is 1 light year is equal to 6.3 into 10 raised to 4 astronomical units. So if you observe the atomic particles, like electrons and protons and nucleus, so these are atomic particles. Okay. And if you observe them, and they are very smaller in size, and these are also called as microscopic particles. These are microscopic particles. So they are very smaller in size and they are measured by some of the units, and let us study those units one by one. So first one is micron. Okay. And it is denoted by symbol mu. So 1 micrometer means, micro means 10 raised to minus 6. Okay. So 1 micrometer means 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter. Okay. And now let us see the second unit, that is nanometer. So it is denoted by nm. So 1 nanometer means 1 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. In the same way, let us see third one, that is angstrom. It is denoted by capital A. So 1 angstrom means 1 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Now let us see fourth one, Fermi. Fourth one is Fermi. It is denoted by Fm. So actually Fermi is the unit and that is used to measure the size of the nucleus. So it is used for the measurement of the size of the nucleus. So that is 1 Fermi equals, 1 Fermi means 1 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter. 1 Fermi value vendre 1 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter andange. Now let us see the next unit, that is Born. So actually Born is a unit and that is used for extremely small area. So like so these kinds of units are used in nuclear reactions. So 1 Born means its value is 1 into 10 raised to minus 28 meter square. So these are some of the units of the atomic particles: micron, nanometer, angstrom, Fermi, Born. So these are the units of the atomic particles. Now let us see some of the practical units of mass. Practical units of mass. So you already know the meaning of mass. Mass means the quantity of matter contained in that object, that is what mass. So now let us see some of the practical units of mass. So in the examination they may ask the question like one of the unit of the mass is atomic mass unit anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. So unit is what? First unit is AMU anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So that is atomic mass unit. So in short form AMU. AMU is the unit of the mass. Okay. So in examination they may ask define AMU and write its value in terms of kg. So ಈ ಥರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ದ definition of AMU. So 1 AMU, it can be defined as, so AMU, atomic mass unit, is defined as, it is 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon 612 isotope. So try to understand the definition. So AMU is defined as 1/12 of mass of one atom of carbon. So here if you have to consider, you have to take only one atom of carbon and we have to divide that one atom of carbon into 12 equal parts. Out of those 12 equal parts we have to take only one part, that is what? 1/12 the mass of one atom of the carbon 12 isotope. So once again I will repeat the definition. AMU is defined as, it is what? It is 1/12 of the mass of one atom of carbon. Okay, and so let me write the definition in mathematical form. So in mathematical form I can write that one as 1 AMU is equal to 1/12 of mass of how much atom? One atom of carbon. Okay, one atom of carbon 12. Okay, so now let us find the value of 1 AMU, you need the value of mass of one atom. Okay, so here what I will do, here I will take mass of one atom of carbon. Okay, that equals, let me take that one as 12 gram divided by 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. So here 12 is what? This is a mass number. Okay, and here 6.023 into 10 raised to 23, this is what? This is the Avogadro number. So if you take their ratios, that is what mass of one atom of the carbon atom. So now let us substitute this value, okay, in equation 1. Let me name this equation as equation number 1. Let us substitute this value in equation number 1. So equation 1 becomes, so what is that? 1 AMU, that equals 1/12 into mass of one atom of carbon is how much? That is 12 gram divided by 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. So here 12 they cancels, so we left with 1 divided by 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 gram. So now if you do the simplification, so 1 divided by 6.023 into 10 raised to 23, ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರು 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 24 gram ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, this is what? This is 1 AMU. Okay, now ಇವಾಗ ಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದು. ಸೊ 1 AMU ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಾವು ಕೆ ಜಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಸೊ ಕೆ ಜಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ದಿಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ವಿತ್ 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, so why 10 raised to minus 3? Let me show that one. So inside, so here 1 kg means we can write that one as 1000 grams. Yes or no? So 1 kg equals ಈ 1000 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾನು 10 raised to 3 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದಾ? ಅಂದರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ 10 3 times, so you will get 1000, right? So 1 kg equals 10 raised to 3 gram ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದು. Now, so from this equation, I will rearrange the terms. ಈ 10 raised to 3ನ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತದು? 1 divided by 10 raised to 3 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದಾಗ ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತದು. ಸೊ 1 divided by 10 raised to 3 kg ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಉಳಿತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ 1 ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ 1 divided by 10 raised to 3 kg ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾನು 10 raised to 3 ಇವಾಗ ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಇದು ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂತಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 10 raised to minus 3 kg ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 10 raised to minus 3 kg ಅಂದಂಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆ ಜಿ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ವಿತ್ 10 raised to minus 3. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಇದು ನಾನು ಕೆ ಜಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಇವಾಗ 10 raised to minus 3ಲೇ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 24, that into 10 raised to minus 3. Then the answer will be in terms of kg. So if you multiply this one, you will get 1.66 into here 10 raised to minus 24 and here 10 raised to minus 3 is there. Bases are same, so you can add the powers. So 10 raised to minus 24 minus 3 kg. So the final answer will be 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 24 minus 3 ಅಂದರೆ minus 27 ಬರುತ್ತೆ in terms of kg. So this is what 1 AMU. So keep it in mind, 1 AMU means 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. So usually the mass of the proton and the mass of the neutron, they will be in this order. Okay, and now this is the first unit. Atomic mass unit is the first unit of the mass. And now let us see the second unit, that is the scientist name. So they have given the scientist name for the unit of the mass, that is Chandrasekhar limit. Chandrasekhar, he is the Indian scientist, so his name has given for this unit Chandrasekhar limit. So in short form CSL. So 1 CSL is equal to 1 Chandrasekhar limit, that equals 1.4 times 1.4 times 1.4 times mass of sun. So 1 ಸಿ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ 1.4 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸನ್ನದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದರದ್ದು 1.4 ಟೈಮ್ಸನ್ನು 1.4 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಸನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 1 ಸಿ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್. ದೆನ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1 ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಟನ್. 1 ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಟನ್. 1 metric ton means 1000 kg ಅಂದಂಗೆ. So keep it in mind, 1 metric ton means 1000 kg. So these are the practical units of mass. So here I have explained about atomic mass unit, okay, and we have discussed how to write the atomic mass unit in terms of kg, and also we have discussed about 1 CSL, and also we have discussed about 1 metric ton. So now I will stop. We'll continue the remaining concepts in the next class. Thank you.